Hey there, welcome back guys. In this video I'm going to show you some interesting features on the DJI Osmo Action 5 Pro. So without any further ado, let's get started. I'm going to show you the door, which they've changed. That makes it easier to take off the storage that they actually there's internal storage. So if you want to access the internal storage, you'll be shown how to do that. That was a little bit tricky at first. The ability to add 2 mics, which is just phenomenal, and some other cool things that you might like in this Osmo Action Pro 5 that isn't actually in the 4. So come, without any further ado, let's get started. Alright, so here's the Osmo Action 5 Pro. Really pretty camera. There are some flaws with it when it comes to the video. We've covered that in one of our other segments. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you, one, how the door is much easier to come off. So if you go here, you just open it, and if you just pull it back gently, it'll just pop right off. And you'll notice that what they've done is they've added more of a noticeable washer that's waterproof. And to put it back, it's not like before where you had to have it in a certain position. See, it just goes in and then snaps out. And let's see if we can snap it back out again. See, we'll go like this, and voila. And then it just goes right in. Before you had to push this out, have it in the correct position, but it's already in the position and will always be in the position it needs. One of the other things they've changed is the battery. It's a little bit hard to open, but we pull it out. See? But what's great about the battery is, look, it's 1,950 milliamps, right? And it's compatible with the previous battery to the Osmo Action 4. And you're like, wait, how do I know which one's which? This is the 5 because the 5 has a little labeling on it, and the 4 doesn't. And the 4, I believe, is 1,700 and something milliamps. So you're going to get more time with this. But if you run this one into the ground and there's no more juice left, you'd simply take the old battery, right, put it in, and let's see if it'll work. So they're all interchangeable. See, voila, it'll turn on. Kind of neat. And a little speaker right there, felt it vibrate. One of the other things they've done is added storage on here, which is really nice. So let's say if you want to, you just bought it, you don't have an SD card, that's okay, don't worry. What you'll do is you'll go to your settings, you'll swipe down like that, right? And when you swipe down, you go twice that way. You can choose from the internal storage or your SD card. In this case, I've been using the internal storage, but let's say when it runs out, just switch to the SD card, confirm, that's it. This button right there allows you to format internal storage or format SD card, but we're not going to do that. See, voila. Or maybe I just go back to using the internal card. And again, what you do is you swipe down and then 2, and then you access the internal storage, or again, the SD card. In my particular case, I'm just using that. And one other cool feature they've added to this is the what do you call it? The ability to add 2 mics. So by default, on the 4, you could only use 1 mic at a time via Bluetooth, right? Well, that's changed. So let's say if I have 2 mics, let's see, hold on, before I add 2 mics, make sure I just want to maintain continuity and keep the, just use the new battery, just to give it what it's supposed to do. So put the battery back in, and that's it for that. Put that there, and then I'm going to put the old battery back into its case. Oh, and in case you're wondering, the new battery actually is compatible with the charging case. So even though I just closed the door, we can open this like that. Just don't want to bend it. That thing bends easily on any battery. And if you, let's say you want to use this travel charging case while the other one's in there, see, voila, and it tells you how much is left, except this one, I believe, is not in there. Is it in there? Yeah, now it will be. See, one's green, one needs charging because this one is dying. I've been using it for quite some time. So that's great to know. So you have the portable travel case, and then we have here, we're just going to put the battery back in, and the SD card slot is right there. Okay, just works similar to the other one. Voila. Oh, and you'll notice here that they've also added an additional washer to make it more water sealant / protectant, so that when you go to the beach, ocean, or pool, you can be that much confident that your device won't get waterlogged. One thing I did notice, I haven't done it yet, but I haven't tested it, so if you do test it in the water, make sure you have Care Refresh, because I do notice that just by touching this part gently, see how that door opens? So you want to make sure that door is completely closed, but it doesn't seal all the way like in the OSMO Action 4, but I'm hoping, like, see how that, definitely water will get in there, but I don't know if it's going to seal 100% that it actually seals the deal and lets these washers do the job. But as you can see, everything goes in there. So knowing that moving forward, if you compare from the 4, there's a little slot where water will get in, but I'm not sure if it goes underneath. All right, knowing that moving forward, we're going to turn it back on and show you some other interesting features that they added to this thing that some of you may or may not like. Out of the box, the camera quality is poor. You actually have to configure it to get it to work for the settings that might be just right for you. For me, my aspect ratio is, hold on one second, this is set for images. I just leave it for 16:9. You can set the whatever you want right here. I leave that for that, but as you can see, it's in camera mode. And for video, I leave it there. I had to put in a support ticket with DJI support in case you're wondering about the settings to get that better picture / quality. All right, so what you would do is you would go, it's just a little bit darker there, but hold on one second. Yeah, everything looks good. It's just because I'm pointing towards there. That's why it's so dark. So what I did was I changed this setting, the EV settings. So I set the exposure to Pro, and then the color to normal, to a, what do you call it, 10-bit. All right, and then I set the exposure to auto right here. But as you can see, I had to override the settings and put -07 EV, and then put that at 1. But it all depends on your lighting. But out of the box, it's going to look kind of whitewashed. So if you want to pause the video and look at those settings to see if they might work right for you, then that's great. And as you can see, I put here, leave that like that, and then stabilization set to scene daily, and or you can you decide which one you want. And I believe that is it for that. As you can see, I have everything here: 4K, 16:9, 60 frames per second. These are settings that I like, and again, you choose whichever one you want. And then there was something else. You just you can shut that off and override it, or do whatever you want. All right. So knowing that, moving forward, one of the other things they've added here, as you can see, if you press the play button, you can turn the sound off like that, or add it. They made that a little bit easier, I guess, because the screen, as you can see, is a little bit bigger. Well, actually, a lot bigger. Look at that. Kind of neat, huh? You get more real estate to watch your reels. You can chuck it. That experience still the same. And then if you scroll up, you can just pan through, or click there to see everything. So that experience is similar to before, except as you can see, it's bigger because the screen is actually better. Knowing that, moving forward, so if we go back here to our modes, they've added super night mode, which is really cool. I can't wait to try that. It does default back to the previous screen really fast. It doesn't let you stay in the menu, as you can see. They're like, oh, I want to. It's like, I didn't do anything. I just need more time. It doesn't really do that. But possible there could be something in the settings, but as you can see, once you select it, it does it for you. Subject tracking, which is a little bit weird, because if anyone's ever done subject tracking before, you have to, it moves on the gimbal. But in this particular case, it just locks onto the subject and keeps the real estate within the image, so that the background just pretty much stays the same. But it does it at 2.7K, 30 frames, 30 something, whatever, 9:16. I guess, so it's sort of like cropping it and keeping it, at a certain ratio. You have slow motion, and as you've seen in my videos, my favorite, the time lapse, which is really cool. I haven't done any time lapse videos yet, but it's all the same. You got your 10, you can do 30 frames per second, and then you can do 4K, right? It doesn't do 60. but the caps off at 30 frames per second when doing the time lapse. Okay, and then if you want, you can also do the hyperlapse too, which you would access from the menu like you would before. It's a little, it's a little bit different. But again, if you're familiar with how to customize your menus, you would simply do it that way. One other cool feature, I'm just going to put this back to the way it was. Oh, again, in case you're wondering, you would go here, and then you would select and then you would go swipe up after selecting that, and then you would select time lapse if you wanted to continue with it, or hyperlapse, and then you could do, you would choose your aspect ratio from there, and then you would go from wide, and then in this particular case, you could leave it at standard if that's how you like your videos, but then you decide what you're going to do. Okay, see, like that. In case you're wondering, we'll need to see that one more time. You select, let's say if I would sort of slow motion, but you wanted to do time lapse, and then it's there, like I want to start, but don't start it just yet because you want to select which one you want. So from you would choose your time lapse for clouds, your scene, etc. And then if you go to hyperlapse, right, then that changes everything, and you change by 2 times, 5 times, etc. And for me, in my case, I just leave it there. And you can choose clouds too, and then you go up. I'm sorry. Then you go back down. Then you press there, right? And then you would just start it, and it would work its magic and do everything that it's supposed to do. But if you wanted something a little bit longer, right? So you would just go here, whoops, custom, right? And then swipe up for perimeters, and then you see you can change it to 10 minutes, 20 minutes, etc. That's in your custom mode, and that's and you're like, wait, he didn't select anything. And then you would swipe up for perimeters. Let's say I want to do a 20-minute, right? So for 20 minutes, it would be 20 seconds. So it would record for 20 minutes, and I get a 20-second clip, okay? And then if I want to bring it back to its regular defaults, I would just swipe back up and then go back to what it was, which I believe it was set to clouds, and then voila. And then you can do the same thing. You would just swipe up, but you can only swipe up in any of the other custom settings. Okay, knowing that, moving forward, one other thing they've added, which is really cool if you like that, the ability to record with 2 mics. I'm just going to put this back in video mode. As you know, remember, you got to move it really fast, because if you just let it lag, it just throws you back out into the camera view. Yeah, the ability to add 2 mics, which is really cool. As you can see, what you would do is, whoops, we'll go here to video, make sure you're in video, and you go to settings, and then what you'll do is you will click on wireless mic. As you can see, the ability to add 2. Before it was just 1, which is just phenomenal. So let's say you have 2 mics, because sometimes you have 2 subjects. Maybe you're doing a family video, or maybe you have yourself, as a narrator, and whatever, all right? So what you would do is you would turn both mics on, and if you're in the green mode, right, so hold this red button down. This is for the new guy. See, if you're in that mode, right, you just hold this red button down like this. Hold the red button down. I'm holding it until it turns blue. Now it's blue, which is fine, and it's still flashing because it's like, hey, I want to connect to something. All right, let's connect one blue. So we'll go here, and then when you hold down the link button, see that link right here? It starts flashing faster, and it's here. So TX1 or TX2, depending on which one it's connected to. Most likely, you see it connected. Voila! And now I'm like, hey, you know what? Someone else wants to join the party. We'll just click confirm, and as you can see, you get your gain option. Hello, testing 1, 2, 3, and see it'll peak or clip. And then let's say I want to join this mic. So now I'm just going to press here, turn it on. Okay, if it's in the blue, great. If it's in the blue, just hold down the link button like this until it flashes really fast. See, it's flashing fast. And then you press there, and then it'll turn solid. Okay, see, that means it connected. We got a confirmation, and then voila, now we've got 2 mics here. I wonder how it looks on the screen though. And you can disconnect. Let's say if we go back, you just select the mic if you want to change connection or disconnect. In this case, I want to see Oh, look at that. You get two monitors. See that? Testing 1, 2, 3. See? And then I'm testing 1, 2, 3. See, mic 1, mic 2. Most likely you want to keep one lower and one higher by, let's say, 1 point or 2 points. This way they're all not talking over each other. So if you have this one at 12, let's say, this one you would do at 11 or 10. You'd have to test it out and see, because everyone speaks differently. Like if I have my kids on, I'm definitely going to put it at 9, because their voices just clip the audio, if that makes any sense. So, monitor the audio before you set it, but you could always throw it into the Adobe AI if that doesn't, work out, for you, and you have great video footage that just needs the audio repaired. I'll leave a link to the Adobe audio repair thingy, and there's also a video on that you can watch, where it'll just take your butchered audio and just convert it into something magical. And that's pretty much it with this. As we can see, a lot of the other menu options are still the same, but these are the features that I like. As you can see, the lens is so much bigger, and the real estate here is actually bigger too. That goes around there, so you get to see a bigger screen. And as you can see, the colors are set just right for me. Kind of neat, huh? There is some glitch with the video. I'm hoping that that's fixed with a firmware update, because that should not be an issue. But other than that, after tweaking it, again, you shouldn't have to tweak it. It's out of the box. It should have that experience that you want, especially when getting your colors and the greens and the grass that naturally come with other cameras. Maybe it's just the glitch that I have with mine, but other than that, it's a pretty good camera, and these are some of the things that some of you might want to change moving forward if you have that out-of-the-box experience that was similar to mine, or if not better. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments and questions, feel free to leave them down below, or ideas for other videos. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.